So I am on a mission to catch this guy. You can see here at nighttime he's got some white spots on him. So we're going to try and catch this guy and get him into my quarantine tank, which I have set up in hyposalinity. So how I'm going to do this is get the top off of the tank here, and we're going to go for the handy dandy net. See if we can't catch this guy in action. There we go.
Surprise, motherfucker!
And that's what I get. Escape artist.
One eternity later.
Take two. Now let's get him into the other tank. So we've got matching temperature. But the only difference is we've got hyposalinity. So I'm going to put him in this tank for about 6 weeks, unfortunately for him. My salinity in this tank is 1.010, and it's just a 20-gallon tank, or 15-gallon tank. And we're going to watch this guy for about 6 weeks, maybe longer, depending on how this goes. Definitely don't want to lose him. This is the first tang I've ever bought, and he was for sure all loaded up with white spots all over his fins, his sides. Even his eyeballs had like a weird glaze to them, so I'm hoping it's not velvet, and I'm also hoping that I caught this quick enough that the other fish won't be affected. So this will be day one of hyposalinity. Alright, so it is the next morning. Things are going okay. We've got life, we've got movement, and I just put some food in there and he was eating the food, so that's good to see. Did put a small piece of nori in there in case he wants to munch on that later. And we put the date on the tank so that I know when 6 weeks is up. And I've also got my Senai reef hooked up to make sure that I'm tracking my ammonia, because I definitely don't want this guy dying from something simple as ammonia. So we're going to keep track of this for the next 6 weeks or so, possibly longer if we need to, but I really don't want to lose this fish, because he was my very first tang. So we're going to keep an eye on him for a little while. So it's been 2 weeks in hyposalinity. Everybody's doing fine. You'll notice that the yellow tang has also got a friend. So a couple hours after I started shooting, I noticed that this little guy had some white spots too, and got him over and got him into hypo, and he's doing just fine as well. Added this piece of rock and some bacteria because I was having trouble keeping my ammonia low. I was doing a water change every day, about 30%, trying to keep the ammonia in check, and it just wasn't working. So I added a piece of cycled rock that I had from my old tank, added some Biospira, and now my ammonia is pretty much undetectable. And everybody seems to be doing just fine. Don't notice any white spots. And everybody's eating and happy and healthy. So, got about 2 more weeks to go in hyposalinity, and then we'll start slowly raising it up. Alright, we have hit the 1 month mark for hyposalinity. Both fish are doing very well. Starting to get a little algae growing on the bottom. So I'm slowly going to start raising the salinity in this from the 1.010 and try and get it up to 1.026 over the next week or two. And we can finally get these two back into the main display. They're showing no ill effects, no white spots. The red tail fin section of the yellow tang has completely gone away. So I'm thinking it was an infection, like a bacterial infection. And the Artemis that I was using to treat it seemed to work wonders. Treated it for 4 days and it pretty much went away. So pretty happy with this. Get the salinity back up in this tank. Get these guys back in the main display. So far, so good. So finally, another month has passed. It's just after St. Patrick's Day, and as you can see, the yellow tang is back where he belongs in the main display. No signs of white spots whatsoever. No red spots on his tail. Healthy as all get out. Just enjoying life again back in the 180. So I would say this was a successful test of hyposalinity. He pulled through with flying colors. And now that he's the most expensive fish I have in my tank, I want to keep him alive for as long as I can. He's doing well. He's eating like a horse, swims, no signs of white spots whatsoever. No ill effects from the hyposalinity. And we are just happy as can be, swimming around in there. And somewhere in that mess of tentacles, there he is. The little tomato clownfish, he made it out of hyposalinity as well. No ill effects, no spots. Loving life in his anemone. So I would call this a success. Both fish made it out of hyposalinity. I kept it at 1.010 for the full month, and then slowly raised it up over the next month to 1.026, which is where I keep the main display, and then transfer the fish back in. Nobody lost their life. Super happy about this. No medicines needed, no copper, no Pro, no ICX, no nothing, just hyposalinity, until his bacterial infection came along, and then I used the microbe lift Artemis, which I'll leave a link down below. So just wanted to give you an update now that it's been another month since he's been in hyposalinity and now back to regular salinity in the main display. I'm rambling, but I don't care. So we'll get this video out. If you like what you see, comment, subscribe to my channel if you feel the need to do so. Always looking for new subscribers. This is Rob. Catch you on the next one.